Ladies and gentlemen, aviation geeks and frequent flyers, my name is David. I'm in Orlando, Florida right now. I'm still in my hotel, and today I'm going to start my journey back to Europe on American Airlines in business class. On the short-haul flight they call it first class, but it really is just a business class. And of course I'm going to do another episode of our review series, Brutally Honest, about today's journey. For those of you who haven't seen Brutally Honest before, in this series we explore a trip based on the expectations that you have. Because I believe that whether a flight is good or bad isn't just determined by what you get or not, it's determined by whether your expectations are fulfilled or not. And in order to have a better picture about what to look out for today, I asked you on YouTube, on our community page on our channel, what your expectations would be for today's flight. This video is going to be just about the short-haul flight. I'm going to fly from Orlando to Chicago in domestic first class on American Airlines. And then the connecting flight from Chicago to London Heathrow on the Boeing 787-9 is going to be published next Saturday. And I highly recommend that you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Do it right now if you haven't already, so you don't miss the upcoming video. So I asked you on YouTube regarding what you would expect from a flight, and one thing comes up over and over again, and that's free Wi-Fi. So you would expect free Wi-Fi. I personally, I already know that Wi-Fi is not going to be free, but I'm going to check anyway. And then the expectations are very straightforward, actually. Of course, priority boarding is an expectation, and that a lot of you have mentioned too. Alright, so I think we should just briefly walk through the process of the flight, outline all the expectations, and then we're going to check them later today on the flight. So first of all, I believe that there is going to be a priority check-in desk. I think that's really important. I think the bags, when you check them in, have to have a priority baggage tag. Then I do not expect there to be a priority security line, because, you know, in the United States, security is always kind of, you have to wait quite a long time most of the time. It's a little bit more annoying than in most countries, but I do not think that there is going to be a priority line. I do hope there is going to be an Admirals Club. Admirals Club is what American Airlines calls their business class lounges here in Orlando. However, I don't know whether there is. So my expectations would be that there is one. And if there is, I expect it to be a relatively mediocre lounge. A couple of cold snacks, no hot food in the lounge. But we don't even know yet whether the lounge is going to be available here in Orlando or not. Then I do expect there to be priority boarding. And then once on the plane, I do think there are going to be different seats than in economy class. That's one of the actual good things about US airlines, especially compared to European airlines. In Europe, a short-haul business class mostly just consists of an economy class seat row with a free middle seat. In the United States, they actually have wider seats with more leg room, different kinds of seats. I do hope that there is going to be a universal power outlet. However, I do not expect there to be an in-flight entertainment system. Some of you have said that they expect free Wi-Fi, so we're going to check whether that's going to happen as well. And on a flight from Orlando to Chicago, I think that's going to be 2 to 3 hours. I do very much hope, I do expect a hot meal. I expect the meal to be served on a tray. I don't think that they're going to serve anything individually. Basically, that's already it. I think that there's obviously not going to be an amenity kit, as it's a short-haul flight. But in total, I think it's going to be a good flight, actually. I think that when it comes to premium products, US airlines are actually doing a very decent job. So we're going to check out whether that's true or not. I'm going to make my way to the airport now. I'm way too early to go to the airport, but I have to check out of the room, and I don't really have anywhere to go. And for me, it's always fun to spend time at the airport. So let's make our way and check some expectations. So originally I was supposed to be on a 7:50 p.m. flight to Chicago, which is not even on the board yet, but because it's so early, I asked if I could be rebooked on the 4:25 flight to Chicago, and they were nice enough to rebook me on an earlier flight without any extra charge, so I appreciate that. So now let's head to Chicago, and we can enjoy the Admirals Club there for a bit longer. Look at that, they actually do have a priority TSA line for first class passengers. But as far as I just noticed, it merges like into the regular line, so I didn't actually skip anything. How weird.
The APM is now departing. Please hold on to the handrails. The next stop is gates 30 through 59. Orlando and Central Florida has so much to offer.
Presentarse el centro de información del piso, pronto a la puerta de seguridad de la vía Contreras. Favor de presentarse el centro de información.
So I'm just sitting working already. I have it in buckets. Yeah. And I've gone through like there's a ton of she never got back from she never got back to me.
So the lounge was actually really nice. There were 2 premium beverages included in the lounge access. That's like if you show your boarding pass, you get 2 alcoholic beverages. Other than that, nice staff. Lounge is large enough for the airport. Quite nice buffet. Can't complain. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
How are you?
Thank you.
gentlemen, welcome aboard American Airlines with service to Chicago. As you relocate your seats, please place the smaller of those 2 personal items that you chose to bring on board today, such as backpacks, purses, computer bags, diaper bags, jackets, food bags, or anything else that is small enough to fit under the seat in front of you. We do ask that you please place those items on the floor, completely underneath the seat in front of you, to allow for more room for those large rollerboards and large duffel bags in the overhead bins. We are expecting a completely full flight today. That does mean that every seat will be occupied.
Everyone, thank you for your attention. It's time to get you ready for takeoff. We know you have lots of choices, so thanks for choosing American. We're happy to be your airline. Now, if you'll just follow along with me, we'll be on our way.
Yes, please. Can I have one of these? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Where are you headed to now?
London.
Bye, have a good day.
Thank you. So, we just made it to Chicago. I am in one of the shower rooms here in the lounge right now because my connecting flight is to Europe. It's an overnight flight, and I think the best thing to do for a long-haul flight like that is to take a shower. Also, it provides me with a little bit of a quiet room in order to finish this video. So, I just want to say that, wow, that was an actual really good flight on American Airlines, and this flight was in total so much better than I expected. There were a couple of features, a couple of things that I didn't even think about when I think about a short-haul business class flight. I didn't think that there would be a blanket on each seat. I didn't think that there would be a hot towel service. I didn't even expect a warm nuts to be served with the first drink before the main meal is served. This is something that I normally have only experienced on long-haul flights when like the whole meal service is coming and it's starting off with something like crackers or salted pretzel sticks or nuts. And in this case, it was really nice to have this little porcelain bowl of nuts that were actually warmed up before the meal. It was a very, very nice touch. In general, I did, as you saw in the beginning of the video, I did not expect there to be an in-flight entertainment system. However, this Boeing 737 aircraft is very new. I think it was built in 2016, so there was an in-flight entertainment screen at every seat, which was very nice as well. There was Wi-Fi on the plane. You had to pay for it even in business class. However, messaging apps such as WhatsApp were free to use, and it did work very, very easily. And the meal was excellent as well. I seriously wouldn't have been surprised if they would have went through the cabin with a tray of like little packs of crackers or Doritos or chips or cookies, but there was actually a full hot meal with a proper salad. I had the filet mignon with the herb butter, cauliflower mashed potatoes, and steamed broccoli, and it was excellent. Like, I don't think I ever had a piece of meat that was so tender and juicy served on a plane yet, because most of the times airlines just really mess that part up and it's really dry and not really enjoyable at all. But this was like, the meal was sizable. It was for a 2.5, 3 hour flight. It was like the perfect size. There were warm nuts served before the meal. And they even served warm bread rolls. They even served bread rolls that they warmed up in the oven. And I cannot stress enough how impressed I am with this whole flight. It was on time, which, as you have seen in my previous videos, hasn't always been the case for my American Airlines flights. But just in total, I have to say that this journey, like in general, completely exceeded my expectations. And I actually have to say, if all of American Airlines domestic first class flights are like this, or even remotely like this, I want to fly them all the time. So I really have to say, a job well done, American. And even if I would look to find something I could complain about, I can't find anything. Like, I seriously, nothing comes to mind that I could complain about this flight. I can only say positive things at this point, and I really didn't expect that I would have such a positive conclusion of this flight. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope you will tune in next week for the continuation of this journey. The next video probably, well, starting off in the hotel room, but I'm gonna come to you again from the shower room here. Show you a little bit around the flagship first lounge, which looks amazing. Like, for that lounge is also incredible. You got to see this. So subscribe if you haven't already, and tune in next week for the flight from Chicago to London Heathrow in business class on American Airlines Boeing 787-9. Thanks again for watching, and greetings from Illinois.